It's Christy again, and today I have for y'all my August wrap-up. To the books. The first book I read this month, or finished this month, was Sun by Lois Lowry, which is the fourth and final book in the Giver Quartet. This was my second favorite book out of the quartet, though I gave them all 5 out of 5 stars. This one has more to do with Jonah and the world of the Giver more than the other two companion books do, because those have to deal with other characters and Jonah's kind of just a side character. But this specifically deals with the world of the Giver. It actually starts off before the story of the Giver and continues on past Gathering Blue, Messenger, and then the Sight. It's really, really good. And there is a lot of metaphor in this book that made me want to reread The Giver to see metaphorical relationships, and just great book. I love Lois Lowry. However, the Giver Quartet is considered children's books, and particularly this last book in the series, I'm just like, really? Really? This is a children's book? I don't know about that. I just don't know. But it's really, really good. 5 out of 5 stars. I recommend you read the whole quartet. Next, I read Opposition by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I love Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I went to a book signing the day this book was released and got it signed. Yeah! This was a really, really good book, but it's the 5th and final book in a series, in the Luck series. The first book being Obsidian. This is the original covers. Now the covers look a little bit more like this, and they're bind-ups of the first two, and then the third and fourth one together, and then this one. But go read them. They're really, really good. I can't really give you a summary of this book since it is the 5th book in the series, but to give you an idea what the series is about, this series is about a girl named Katie who moves across the country and happens to move in next door to aliens. A lot of people call it Twilight with aliens, and then I know a lot of people also really hate that, but I definitely think it has the same feel as Twilight but with aliens, but it's better written and I like it better, and I am in no way saying that the storyline in any way copies Twilight, because apparently that's a thing. It does not copy Twilight's storyline, but it does have the same feel. Fans of Twilight will love Obsidian, the Luck series. Go read it. It's completed now, so you can just read all of them. I gave Opposition 5 out of 5 stars. It wasn't my favorite in the series, but it was a good, solid conclusion. Next, I read If I Stay by Gail Forman, and this is my first Gail Forman book, and I bawled like a baby. Yeah. And laughed. That was one of the most amazing things. I'd literally be crying one second and then laughing the next. And I kind of loved that, but because it went so much like that, and one second I was laughing, I didn't bawl the whole time. I got teary-eyed throughout the entire book and only bawled like 2 or 3 times. It was a really, really good book. Emotionally draining like ridiculous. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was great. If you don't know what If I Stay is about, basically Maya gets into a car accident, kind of in this limbo world of should I stay or should I go, and it flashes back to her life, and it's a really, really good, powerful, emotionally draining book. However, I was going to read the sequel to this right after, Where She Went by Gail Forman, and I just was not emotionally ready to do that. That didn't happen. Yeah. Instead, next, I read The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I'm not going to tell you what this book is about, because anything I say will ruin it. Honestly, I wish that I had known less about the book going into it. It's good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It's good. I recommend it. I'm really looking forward to seeing where the series goes. And there is also a read-along going on for these books. Hashtag MaraBooks, I believe. I will leave the right hashtag down below. But I believe it is MaraBooks. I'll also leave the Goodreads group page down below. Next, I actually read a short novella for the Selection series called The Epilogue. It is online. I will leave the link to it down below. It was good. I gave it 5 stars. It's kind of hard to rate novellas though, so. But I am really excited about more Selection series books. Yes! was right. I was so right. Anyways, the next book I read was Perfected by Kate Jarvik Birch. I managed to say the author's name without looking at it. Anyways, so I finished reading this book. I started reading it a while back, but I just finished it. This book is about a world in which people can have human pets, basically. They are engineered human beings designed to be talented and beautiful and just be pets, the perfect companions. I have already filmed a review for this book. I need to edit it, and I will link it down below once I post it. Basically, I was a little disappointed. I really thought this book could have been great, and it was just okay. I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads. It was really more like a 3.5, and it just could have been so much more than it was. But perfected. Next, I read Where I Belong by Mary Downing Hahn. I have a review that I also just need to edit for this one, and it comes out September 2nd. It's an arc, and I rant all the time about how much I love Mary Downing Hahn. This wasn't my favorite book by her, but I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars because the beginning was a little slow. But it's a really good book. I already talked about this book and the next few books quite a bit in my Bout of Books 11.0 wrap-up, so I'll leave a link to that down below and kind of go through these books fairly quickly. I give this 4 out of 5 stars. Recommend it. It's middle grade. Comes out September 2nd. Mary Downing Hahn all the way. Always read Mary Downing Hahn. Next, I finished reading The Assassin's Blade. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Air Fire is coming out soon. That's all that needs to be said. Go read it. This is the prequel novellas for the Throne of Glass series, if you didn't know that. Go read it. Go read the whole series. Read it now. Read it, read it, read it, read it. Oh! I also got selected and am in the Air Fire fan trailer, which I will leave down linked below. Yeah! Then I read Anna and the French Kissed and Lola and the Boy Next Door. I gave both of these books 4 stars on Goodreads. I know everyone loves them, and I really enjoyed them. I did. They're solid 4 stars. If you want a happy contemporary, go read these. Then I read The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. This was a really good book. I think I'm going to do a review on it, a full review on it. It was very episodic. Like, I can really see it being turned into a television series. I know it's supposed to be turned into a movie with Emma Watson, but it's very, here's an event, here's an event, here's an event, epic event at the very end. And I really liked that. Then I read The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. This was a really good book. I think I'm going to do a review on it, a full review on it. It was very episodic. Like, I can really see it being turned into a television series. I know it's supposed to be turned into a movie with Emma Watson, but it's very, here's an event, here's an event, here's an event, epic event at the very end. And I really liked that. It's very Arthurian, like King Arthur, but Queen, which I think that there was kind of a little play, because at one point the main character, Kelsey, I'm pronouncing it Kelsey, I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but she mentions how there are no epic adventure books with female heroines. Enter epic adventure book with female heroine. It's a really, really good book. I don't necessarily know if I could say it's a book for everybody, but it is really good. Basically, it's a story about a young princess who has grown up in a cottage off in seclusion, kind of like King Arthur. But she knew she was a princess. She'd grown up her whole life knowing that on her 19th birthday she'll be crowned queen. And on her 19th birthday the Queen's Guard come and gets her and takes her back to the keep, the castle, for her to be queen. But she has a whole bunch of people trying to kill her. Her uncle is currently on the throne, and there's another dark country over to the side trying to take over and doesn't want her to take over, and just epicness. Epicness. Really good. It's not, I gave it 5 stars. It's not a solid, oh my god, 5-star book. But I can't bring myself to take any away from it. Like, I can't even say it's a 4.5 because I loved it. I did. It's fairly predictable. It was typical. It was a fantasy. It was a typical fantasy with a feminine heroine, very Arthurian, kind of just following the story of King Arthur. It was just really good, but I can't take anything away with it because I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed it. I really did. 5 out of 5 stars. And lastly, I'm currently reading, and maybe we'll finish this month. I doubt it because I'll probably have to finish it tomorrow. But I'm currently reading Salt and Storm by Kendall Culper. This book is about a witch whose mother doesn't want her to be a witch, and she has a premonition dream of her own murder, and to prevent her own murder she wants to become the witch, a full witch, and unlock her powers. So that is the story so far, is her trying to unlock her powers. I've kind of come to a conclusion of that. Now I'm going to figure out what's next. I'm kind of getting excited. I'm halfway through. It's a decent book. It depends. It's one of those books that kind of depends on where it ends to whether or not the whole story will have been worth it. But we will see. I'll let you know because I plan on doing a review for this book. So, this is all the books I read this month. Ta-da! And that's all I have for y'all today, so